I felt pretty confident on all three patterns for the short. I started with the Desert Tank, and then when they transitioned, moved left with a Blue Coral Venom. For the medium, I started left with tighter angles, keeping it straighter with the Mythic Jackal and the Ghost Jackal. And then for the long, I was about in between second and third arrow with the Ghost Jackal, just kind of keeping my angles a little tighter but feeding right down the lane.
On the short, I was using my Rubicon UC3 and I was trying to get it to hook off the gutter. And then I was transitioning into something a little bit shinier, so my dark code, and I was just staying pretty straight up. And for the medium, I was throwing my phase 4 and trying to get it to at least 9 or 10 at the arrows and hoping that it would hold because there wasn't much hook on the medium. And then the long, I ended up throwing my gem and I sanded it to like 360, I don't know, and I was just throwing it and it was pretty good. So yeah, it worked.
Okay. I felt really good in practice. I felt like I had a good look on basically everything. Medium was a little bit tough, but I feel like my Zen Master, Insight, and UC3 look good on basically everything. I'll probably end up using my UC3 on short. On medium, I'll probably use my Zen Master or Insight, maybe my UC3 with a little bit of surface, and then long, my Zen Master.
Today we both had a practice session. I plan on using the Zen Master, the phase 2, and the fast pitch. The short, there's a lot of early hooks, so I want to try and control it more. The medium, I was throwing the Altered Reality and the Axiom. A little bit of polish on it because this building hooks really early. On the long, I slow hooked the phase 2 and the Altered Reality.
Abigail Starkey. Silver medal goes to North Carolina's own Kaitlyn Stoll. And the gold medal on the U15 Girls Short Pattern goes to Gianna Brandolino. goes on the medium pattern, Gianna Brandolino. U15 boys, and a gold medal, averaging more than 223, it looks like, Landon Jordan. Silver medal goes to Kira Maxim. The U15 Girls Long Pattern, the bronze medal goes to Gianna Brandolino. Now we will move on to our overall champions. Overall silver medal goes to the birthday girl from North Carolina, Kaitlyn. And the overall champion for the U15 girls, and I believe this is her 7 SYC titles, Gianna Brandolino. U18 boys. Bronze medal after 15 games. I call him Steady Eddie. Micah Morris.
All right, SYC North Carolina recap. I'll start. I got 3rd without medaling on pattern.
I don't know what I got.
Well, you didn't medal at anything?
No, I didn't.
Redo.
No, I didn't.
3rd overall. You medaled 3rd overall.
You said redo? SYC North Carolina recap.
I'm Sydney Bone, and Michael Voorhees says it's not over till it's over. Live by that. Goodbye.
I got 3rd without medaling on a pattern. That's all I got. Griffin.
I got 5th without medaling on a pattern.
Keegan.
I got 8th without medaling on pattern and missed cash by 20 seconds.
I got 12.
Carter got 12th. Morgan.
I feel bad.
Kaitlyn.
Like 300 pins out.
I got 2nd.
Happy.
I got 5th and I medaled so
Yeah, 5th. Anyway, Gianna.
I got 1st on short and medium, 3rd on long.
She won, that's all you need to know.
Oh yeah, come on.
Landon.
I got 4th overall. Got gold on medium, bronze on short.
And Carter. That kind of describes how
Carter almost shot 300. Carter almost shot 300. He had 5.
He did almost shoot 300. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next SYC or next vlog.
And a phone.
Peace.
Alright, so I started on the short pattern in practice. I had the blue tank for it. Obviously, one of the better urethanes of Motive and newer. But it worked well for the first like 40 minutes. And then I moved down to medium, where I threw the coral, and the shock, and the mythic, and more heavier balls. With the amount of oil, it actually worked really well. All 3 of them did, and I had 3 different lines to play. So I moved down the long pretty quickly. And the long, always my strongest pattern, so I used the coral the whole time. Tried the mythic for a few shots, only threw 4 down there, 5 down there. They all struck. They looked really good. That's why I did my best on long. And then I moved back down the short, see how they broke down. They obviously broke down a little bit different. They weren't as tight because no spare balls were really going down the lane. But I moved to something like a top thrill and a fatal venom to smoothen it out a little bit more and get some angular. Top throw was a little bit too angular, but the fatal venom was slow enough where it worked really well. And then I moved down to 1 and 2 and see if they were different, and they hooked more. So I moved some into the Iron Forge, and it was angular enough. It went through the pins well. That's what worked.
All right, so balls of choice this week. Short pattern. First block, I went with the Purple Hammer all 5 games, which is normal. But I just a lot of operator error in the first block. Missed spares throughout the whole week, but when I threw it good, the Purple Hammer was striking a lot. Then yesterday afternoon in the evening, I went with the Zen. Pretty much the same thing. I threw it fine. It was good ball reaction, but just a lot of bad shots this week overall. And so that was the only ball I stuck with on the medium. And then today I used the Insight. Threw it pretty good this afternoon. And then later on game 4, I switched to the Zen, and that was also a good ball reaction. So overall, it's just not my best week, that's for sure. Spare game was an issue once again. So get back, practice, and shoot a lot of spares.
So in practice, game plan was pretty simple for short. Urethane was probably going to be the look for most of the time. Didn't really matter which one. Both had a good look fast pitch with the UC3. But towards the end, I probably would have transitioned into a ball like the Tropical Surge. Something a little smoother, something not as early. And that's actually what happened. I threw a fast pitch the first 3 games and started hook a little too early, so I went to the Surge, finished out what would have been a tough game, closed it out into 190, and then finished out with another 190, so I saved the block a little bit. Medium, I felt like I could do a lot. It played very, very, very heavy, almost like a long pattern on the medium. So solids were in play. If I could get a pearl to hook up a little bit earlier, they were in play. Urethane was in play, the UC3 especially. And the UC3 looked really good on fresh. That's what I threw the first 2 games. Went to a gem the next 2 games and switched to a phase 3 the last game. Tough block, but I managed to grind it out. And then on long pattern, the gem looked good on fresh, or what was fresh, because I didn't get down there in time. And then I probably would transition into a pearl ball like the phase 4, but I ended up throwing the dark code instead of a phase 4 in the tournament. It was good for 250 twice, and the gem was good for about 40 over my first 3 games. So I got third, so I guess I had a steady enough ball reaction, but I probably could have made a little bit of better ball choices on the medium pattern. Maybe could have caught the move on the short pattern a little bit earlier, but other than that, it was a good tournament. So.
The Fatal Venom was great on all 3 patterns. The medium, after the oil pushed down the lane a little bit, we switched to the Ghost late in the block, but other than that, Fatal Venom was great on all 3 patterns.
On short, I thought I was going to use the Tank Blitz to start, and I did. And then I thought I was going to switch to my high road around game 4 or 5, and I ended up switching to it around the start of game 3, and I thought that worked really well. In medium, I thought I was going to start off with the Idle Helios, and I ended up using the Mythic Jackal, and I used that throughout the whole block of medium until around middle to the end of the 5th game when I had to switch to my high road because it got too reactive. On long, I thought I was going to use either the Rubicon UC3 or the Tank Blitz again, and I ended up using the Idle Helios, which gave me the best look until I switched to the Mythic Jackal and in around the end of game 2, and I used that throughout that.
So this weekend I ended up using on the short the Zen Master for all 5 games and the fast pitch for a couple frames. On the medium I used the Reality, the Zen Master, and the Axiom. And on the long I used the Axiom and the Reality and the Alternate Reality.
Okay, I use my UC3 on short. On medium I use my Zen Master, my Insight, and my Dark Code. And on long I basically just use my Insight the whole time.